Hello YouTube. It is Friday. It's about 6:49 in the evening. And glory be to the Father, to the Son and to the Holy Spirit. Today I want to encourage you, with an experience I recently had, or today, and also some lessons, Earlier in one of the videos I told you about, a child having Down syndrome and all that. So I remember at birth, the child was checked, my baby was checked to see, and they found out that she had, her hearing was poor or something like that in one of the ears. The heart, they said the heart had a hole and the heartbeat was really, really, really low, close to silent, and what else did they do? And the Down syndrome stuff, and yeah. So we prayed about that, and the Lord told me the child will be healed. The child is healed. The child will be fine. So yesterday we go to the pediatrician and he checks the baby. The baby is normal. The baby is okay. Today we go to another checkup. We go for another checkup to check the ears. Yeah, the child is okay. We found the hearing is okay, But all these things happen because before we leave home, every time we come back, we pray to God. We like, Lord, let this child, please, let it heal this child, let the child have, let's receive a good report from the doctors. It's all going well, God is faithful. So one person might tell you, hey, because you believe in God, do not go to the doctor. Well, how are you really going to know if the child is okay? The doctor has to confirm that you are okay, or the child is okay, or anyone that's going through any medical challenges. Might be experiencing something. Whatever you're going through, and you're going to hospital, pray to God, but do not stop going. Ask God and just work on your ways with God. Just work on your walk with God. He will heal you. He will take you through that situation. Because how are you gonna know that you are healed? The doctors will tell you, hey, we can't see anything wrong with you. I think you should withdraw from medication, And another thing would be, how will God be glorified if you're hiding, Because you go to the doctors and they tell you whatever is happening is impossible. We don't know what happened. Then that's when you tell them that you believe in God and God healed you. So at the end of the day, in every situation that happens, God's name has to be glorified. So I remember in the Bible, when the disciples and Christ came across this disabled person, and the disciples asked Christ, who sinned that this person was born like this? Was it the parents or the child? And Christ was like, no one sinned for him to be like this, but he was born like this so that the power and the glory of God would be shown, you know. So many people have kids that are Down syndrome, I don't know, autistic, whatever the medical industry has shown the world that is there, you know, anything abnormal. All these things, I believe that they are there for God's glory to be shown, you know. And honestly, I don't know, me, if I came across parents that have a Down syndrome child, you know, a mute or something, I would pray for that child. I'm telling you, I would let the power of God be shown in that place, because that is a miracle in transit. That is a miracle in transit. We have to see these things waiting. I don't care if the parents believe or they do not believe. When I meet that child, I will pray for that child, and that child will come to normality, will be healed, you know. I pray for that child in the name of Christ. Let the power of Christ be shown, be moved, you know. But anyways, those are some of the things the Lord teaches us, He reveals, He shows us. And I remember when we were in hospital, one of the sisters that worked on my wife when she gave birth, she was telling me that, hey, we have a Down syndrome. My brother has a Down syndrome son. He's 21 years old. He has been in that, he's in a wheelchair, it doesn't walk, but no, he's, you know, when, you know, the people that have extreme Down syndrome, you know, when they can't even speak, you know, they look retarded, you know, that kind of thing. And I told her, hey, get my wife's number. Get my wife's number. Keep in touch with her. You give us a call. We'll come there and we'll pray for that child. Now the woman never bothered anyway. But you know, we were ready to do this. But the thing is, so many people don't know the power of God. Some of us, we have tasted it. Like, nothing really scares me, you know, that, oh, this is gonna happen. I don't really care for anything, you know. I'm not scared of what the world seems to have, or whatever situation. And it's very true when Christ said that, you know, do not be troubled. Christ can do anything, guys. He can do anything. That man, he's something else. He's cut from something else, you know. Anyways, that's why we went through, and it's all good news coming, you know, from the medical side. It's all good news. Nothing to worry about. And we'll have more tests on Monday. Yeah, and some other time we'll have stuff to see. But the thing is, everything is going okay. So, like recently, yeah, I've been experiencing my humbling moments, you know, with God. And I keep learning more and more about life, you know. Now, given the place where I am, you know, South Africa, and compared where I come from, people are they're very liberal. They're not rigid, they are open-minded. In this country, people are not. I mean, I won't say everyone, but the few people have been introduced to, there's a slight form of rigidness, you know, and I think it's something that comes from upbringing, you know. society, the society that, or the culture that's here in South Africa. Well, I've seen this even back at home, where someone will tell you that they believe in God, but there's something somewhere they want to apply their own knowledge. Back home it's been there, but here it's like even worse. I don't know. I think here it's worse. I'm not saying this to discredit the nation, the country, because I'm not speaking about everyone. Just speaking about just a few people I've encountered, that you will encounter Christians that say they love or they know God, but at the back of their mind they have a plan B, It is a painful thing to see, to experience, when someone is like that. I mean, put God in a box and it's like God is God by mouth, by word, but by actions, there's no act of faith, there's nothing. That's what I've seen here. But hey, I do not judge. Remember back home, all the churches I used to go to, they used to say this kind of thing that, oh, Uganda is like some special country before the Lord. Like there's a revival, At some point I used to believe that stuff. I thank God that I have grown to know the truth. You see, that's excitement gospel, If anyone tells you that, oh, God is doing a work in this country, God is doing a revival, that God has set this country, a particular country, apart from others, for a specific or something like that. I've experienced that in my own country. But then I learned some things. God is not a respecter of persons. If you do not fear God, you flatter yourself all you want. And let me tell you, God will give you up to your worst fears. If you do not fear Him, if you do not revere Him, if you do not respect Him. Because He's not punishing you by doing that. He's granting you what you want. You want a life without Him, He'll let it be. He'll just walk out. He'll stand on the side and tell you, hey, let your will be done, since you don't want His will to be done. And there's lots of doctrines that have gone around, excitement, prophecies said about certain places, certain countries, But let me tell you something, do not be deceived. Most of the places I have seen that, or I have heard, that have been prophesied to, I've seen how people treat God. And I do not judge them. But you go and you see, you discern, you see how people live. And you see that, is this really a godly work? Or people are just exciting these people? You won't go and just excite people that are living in sin, promising them good stuff, and do not tell them that, hey, you have to turn from your evil ways. You have to turn from your sinful ways and live right with God. This is something I have seen. Soothing excitement. The Bible says in the last days people will heap up teachings for themselves. They'll heap up teachers, lots of teachers. They'll take on doctrines of seducing spirits. How does one seduce you? They tell you the things you want to hear. They flatter you. They flatter you. Or they flirt with you. So, when it says that people will have a form of godliness, but they will deny the power thereof. Meaning that you will see people that seem godly, but their lives do not reflect God. I mean, there's no power in what they believe. Like one will tell you, I'm a Christian, but you can't look at their life and see the grace of God in their life. You find a Christian that's Christian, but they're not admirable, I'm telling you, in any way, in any form. They're not healthy. They're not doing well. They're not well provided for. They just do not have favor of God. And let me tell you, when you serve God, you will have His favor. It doesn't matter if you do have a job, if you do not have a job. If you diligently seek and serve God, He will always create a way. Lately, I have a very, I won't say a heavy, I'll say a strong, because a heavy comes with a burden. But I would say it's a strong feeling. I just have a strong feeling that anytime I'm going, I just feel it like it's so close. That sun, anytime you're going, I just feel it. But I ask myself, what have I done for God? What am I leaving behind? I just feel it that very soon I'm going. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I just feel it that it's very close. Because it's so evident, because God is moving my life so fast. He's really accelerating my life, guys. He is really accelerating my life. After coming to Christ, the first thing I used to do book illustration and graphics design and animation, for different entities, When I became a Christian, it just touched me, like my spirit spoke to me. My spirit was just really stirred up. It was like, hey, you are creating works for the world that is passing. You have the skills. You have the wisdom. No one is doing anything for God in your field. Like, no one is really creating serious books, for, well, there's books for Christianity, and there's lots of literature material out there. But in the design industry, where someone creates an illustrated book or a comic book or anything like that, it's not there. I see things, you can see wonderful movies made, in Hollywood, all these multi-million entities, Marvel, Marvel Studios and Universal Studios and all this. These guys put in time to create their content, and their content it's worldly. People eat it up, but no one is creating any Christian material, out there. So I sat down and I was like, hey, in my country, to do animation is like you can only get money through animation in the corporate world, through advertisement, things like that, and maybe a little in the film industry, like if you do your own personal stuff. But if you do your own personal stuff and push, let's say you create a movie, a film, and an animation film, and then you push it, you sell it, that's the only way you can survive in this field. So I looked at the struggle, there's already struggle even in the secular world, in our field, because I was doing a lot of things to survive: painting, design, animation, illustration. Like any project that presents itself, I'll take it up and, just to get by. And it seemed like this life is like it was just surviving. When I became a Christian, it really weighed heavily on me. It was like, no one is doing anything like this. You have to create stuff, And I sat down. I said, you know what? There is no money in this thing. I don't know how it will work out. I don't know how it will play out. But I'm just going to go and create material for. I have a heart for kids, Kids are watching all these cartoons, fighting, witchcraft, nothing. But there's no serious material out there for kids to know Jesus, I'm telling you. Even the things you see that would be close to the Bible are far from it. I said, you know what? I don't know. God didn't instruct me to do this, guys. God did not instruct me to do this. But it was something heavy on my spirit. I just said, hey, I'm just going to go and do this. And let me tell you something. It is a tough one. It is a tough journey. It is a tough journey that I feel alone, I'm doing it alone. No one else is willing to join this. Just to do a project, it can take you a very long time to do it. It's like you put all you have, your sweat, your blood, everything you have. I'm not complaining, but I'm sharing my story for a reason. Because I know so many people out there, they commit to want to do something for God. Because I'm telling you, if you see the things I have seen, you cannot live the same life. I'm telling you, my experience was like going through a door. Imagine a door is before you, and you go through that door, and behind that door you are exposed to a different reality. And then on the other side of the door, they tell you have to go back to the other room, and you go back to that room. And you have to come back and live according to the new reality, regardless of what's happening. You know, that is what I experienced. But I do not complain. You see, God has a way of providing. I remember one time, I am a hardworking person. When I set my mind to do something, I want to do it to my best, or to something convincing, you know, something appealing. I'd say something appealing, because I really want to give out something good, you know. So I'll break myself to do something. I'm not praising myself, but it is something, you know, because some people see people that do work on computers, they're like, these people are lazy. It's like they want you to go to the gym, carry this, carry that. That's a hardworking person to the world. But a hardworking person, they set their mind, they set their thoughts, they set everything, they put in all their energy into a project until it's out, you know. That is what I'm doing with my life. I have totally dedicated my life to that. I don't know how this story is going to end. Honestly, I do not know. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm doing. This is what I have to do. Because no one out there is doing it. I haven't seen anyone doing it. I haven't seen anyone doing it. And I do have a project I'm working on. It gets hectic, but it's worth it. I don't know how I'm going to work. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm in a new nation now. I'm in a new country. Well, someone might say that, oh, you're telling all your plans here now. Well, that's your perspective, and you're welcome to think like that. Now, what I'm telling you guys is that the situation I'm in, so many Christians come to this situation like, you from a certain reality and you come to another reality. And something in you just can't let you live like you used to. I can't go and do beer commercials like I used, you know, go design works for. They have money, but I can't go and do that stuff. Or someone will tell you that just go do the money, just go get the money, but that is one way of looking at it. And don't blame anyone. Sometimes I meet people and people look at you, they're like, hey, giving your time to that. And I don't know how the story is going to end, but it is something I have to do. Your children, and they're going to. I'm not going to sell any of this stuff. I'm telling you, I don't know how this story is going to end. I'm not going to sell any of these products. They're going to be out there free. I want to do this. Animation needs time. I want to do this, and I want to survive on my art, my painting, and I don't know how it's going to work out. I'm in a new country now. I still have a lot to work on, in settling in, register a company. Still going through the process of going about that. Haven't met any helpful people in this country yet. just, it's a lonely road. It's a lonely road. My life is moving really, really fast. But it's this strong feeling I have that very soon I'm leaving. Very soon I'm going home. And that feeling encourages me so much because sometimes I feel tired, you know. I'm like, God, I am tired. Every day, day in, day out, you share the word of God with people. People don't want to know. People don't want to change. People come back to you with the same problem, the same problem, the same problem, the same problem, the same problem. I pray for people. People I do not know, people I've never met. I pray for people. I do not know. I don't care for really living a very long and old age. I don't really care for that. The earlier I go, the better. Because you know this world with whatever is happening now. But the thing is, my main thing is what I'm leaving in the world. That's and sowing seed in my child. That's what I really care for. Because if I sow seed in my child, I know I would leave a foundation, you know. The hardest thing in life is to work with people, you know, where you have to work with people. Being a Christian is a lonely journey, guys. It's a very lonely journey. If you're there and you're walking this journey and you experience the same things I experience, I just want to encourage you in the sense that these feelings, this pain, this loneliness, this experience, you know, some people commit suicide over it, you know. Some Christians give up and they commit suicide and they're tired. That's when the enemy comes in. But you have to use this energy to move forward, because now it's proof that you are doing some damage in the world. It's proof that you are no longer the same person. You no longer see things the same way. I always tell you guys that in my case, it's very easy to make money if I do not follow God. It is very easy. It will be very, very easy for me to make money if I don't follow God. Very, very easy. Forgery. I would do forgery. Very. You have no idea. There's lots of things I would forge and make money. So many. I can do a lot of counterfeit stuff and make money. Because the old me did that. And now, you know, doing such counterfeit stuff, being in a country now like South Africa, oh, you can be a millionaire here when you're doing counterfeit stuff. But this is the lonely journey of a soldier that one has to partake. You know, it's your testing, it's your trial, it's your persecution, it's your cross, and you have to carry it. And let me tell you, for the most part, no one is gonna be there to encourage you. No one is gonna be there to encourage you. If you are married, your wife won't be able to encourage you because they won't understand. Your parents, your friends. I mean, the world is all bleak. People don't know God. They'll look at you as a weirdo, you know. One thing I've learned is I love to help people, and me, I'm an open-minded people. But it's so sad that I find shallow-minded people everywhere. And I used to be of the mind that, oh, how could such people be in church? But the truth is, the church is where you should even expect the worst characters, because they all come to be cleansed. They all come to meet God. So if you have that kind of mind that the church is so dead, don't have it anymore, please. You know? The church is a dump for all sorts of people, because they come to seek God, you know. Each and every one of them in there will have to meet their God at some point, and they will explain to him how they live their life. To serve God is not an easy thing, guys. It's not an easy thing. It is sacrifice, because you don't even have the assurance that something is going to happen to you. Something is going to happen for you. You just have to serve. You just have to go. You don't do it for benefit. You don't do it for anything. I've never asked anyone for money, but it gets tough. It really gets tough. I'm telling you, it gets tough. But this is something you have to hold. It's something you have. I'm telling you, this is why these scammers in church, because they can't handle this tough journey. They can't. So they start making up things like, hey, special prayer for $2,000, special prayers for 10,000 rand, special, you know, prayer for something. There's lots of scammers everywhere. You see them here in South Africa, you see them everywhere, back in East Africa, everywhere, in Europe, in America, in Asia, they're everywhere. Because you see, this is the refinement a Christian goes through. And it's only by God's grace that I mean, you can't start planning for God. I'm telling you guys, you can't. You can't start planning for God. And I don't know how this journey is gonna end, and when I say that, it's like I don't know by the time the Lord calls me home how far I would have gone. But the only thing I'll be grateful for is that I make it into the kingdom. Because you see, your moment of salvation is the day you die. It is the day you die. It is not when you are alive that now you are saved, or now you are struggling, you're striving. You are striving to stay in the kingdom of God. You're striving to make it. You're striving to make it. I really meet some very disrespectful people, you know. It's sad. I've met so many disrespectful people now in this country here. You meet people who think they are wise, people who think they know everything. If it's not their way, there's no other way. But you see, I am not even shocked that certain people go through certain problems, you know, experience certain problems, because you look at their way of life and you're like, what did you expect? You know? And it's sad that these things have to happen to people. But this self-exaltation, you know, putting yourself above, is really a foolish thing that we do as human beings. The only thing I can tell you is that the life of a Christian is a miracle. If you are the kind that wants to know your life, that you want to see how your life will work out, if God will show you that, good luck. But the Bible says that the just live by faith. In James, in the book of John chapter 3, the Bible says that Christ told Nicodemus that those that are led by the Spirit are like the wind. You do not know where it blows from, and you do not know where it blows to. You just hear the wind. That's how it is. But all these doctrines that people have been taught, telling you if you have food and clothing and a house, that is enough. If you pursue anything more than that, and you give it your mind, you give it your heart, you give it your everything, you're gonna be trapped in this world, I'm telling you, and you won't make it. These are the kinds of people I have dealt with now in this country. They want to love God. They want to love God, and they want also the world. They want 100 from God, and they want 100 from the world. You know? And this is a gospel going around. This prosperity thing. You will get, you will have, you will. But let me tell you something. When you seek God, His kingdom and His righteousness, your life will be a miracle. I remember one time the Lord was telling me about my financial life. He was telling me, you will be okay. You will be fine. And He told me that a time will come when you will be exposed to too much that you will even need prayer so that you can contain it. And He told me that my ways are not your ways as human beings. He tells me, when a human being thinks about getting rich, he thinks from their field or from their skill. from their field of expertise or skill. And God said, that is not how I work. He says, I can get an empire that's already built and I bring it and hand it to you. What am I trying to explain or elaborate is God can change your life overnight. Well, Satan can do it. But God, He does it. Today I passed, we just came from an evening drive with my wife. And we passed a certain church. Very big. Established in a good place. It's owned by a foreigner. So I was asking my wife, how that person got that land. If you spoke to them, you will be shocked, because a foreigner can't buy land here in South Africa. Well, you can, but it is a very hard process. And we were talking, and my wife told me, nah, rich folks here, they have a lot of land, so they donated a portion of land for this man of God to have land to start a church. I was like, wow. And the whole journey was like, wow. God indeed can move hearts. God can do some pretty amazing things. When you come to God, do not try to investigate Him, how He's going to do something, how He's going to provide for you, how He's going to do anything. You'll waste your time, and you will never see the bigger picture. You will lock your mind in a certain box, and for the most part, it's hard to come out of such a box that you have locked yourself in. The only thing you can do is let everything flow. It is okay to worry. It is very fine to worry. But if worry becomes a daily thing, if it becomes a prison, then that is a problem. It is okay to worry when you've just received bad news. You're like, oh God, I have cancer. It is okay to worry for a moment. And it's okay to worry about it today. But you wake up worrying about it the following day, the whole day. You sleep, you even dream about it. You wake up, it's a month, it's a year, it's 2. That is a prison. It's okay to worry about, oh, how am I going to get this? It is okay. It is a normal thing. But if it becomes a prison, if you become a slave to it, that is something else. I sometimes feel tired. I'm like, Lord, I have really done this. I've really done this. And you feel tired for a moment. But just when I open my Bible and read it and pray to God, it renews my mind, and I get back on the program. I get back on the program, and I go, okay. So, I mean, how life works, you never know. Think about your journey. How it's gonna end, nobody knows. But once you stick to God, you will go. But let me tell you something else. Let me tell you something else, guys. I was going to forget this. But the Lord wants you guys to know, each and everyone that's watching this, that we are going home very, very soon. Sooner than you think. We are going home very, very soon. God is tired of seeing his children suffer. We are going home very soon. I don't know how. I don't know when. But God wants you to know that we are going home very, very soon. And he gave me a reason. He gave me a few pointers. He told me there are so many deaths and there's so much pressure on the kingdom of Satan to recruit people to become rich. He is on the kingdom of Satan is working harder than ever before right now. They try to make everyone a celebrity. They're trying to make people celebrities, people rich, and that's why so many people are depressed. People are dying young. So many people are dying young. People are dying at 20. People don't cross 25. People don't cross 24. But they die rich and famous. After this one goes, another one comes in, another one, and he's doing this in so many fields. And the Lord was telling me that he wants to take so many souls because he knows he has no time. And oh God, he told me we are going home very, very, very soon. Very soon. I recently saw a video, I think yesterday but one, even today I saw it, that they're building the third temple in Israel. I don't know how relevant that is to the prophecies, but everyone is fussing about it. But it's until we see the abomination, sitting in there, the Antichrist. But the thing is, I don't think I will even be around. I don't know about you. If you want to be around, be around. But the Lord said we are going home very, very soon. We are going home very, very soon. And he also wants you to know another thing. This thing about the war in Ukraine. Here's what's happening. That war, it's really serious. The thing, it's a depopulation plan. It's what he wants you to know. That there are so many plans of depopulation that have been made by the kingdom of Satan. And this whole thing you see with going on with Ukraine, these guys are not friends, that these nations are not friends, but each and every one of them wants to be the ruler, wants to usher in this man of evil. But they all want to depopulate. Some of them are not about depopulation. Some of them want to create a utopia where everyone will be controlled, where everything will be free. But some of them are like, let's just get done with this. Let's just depopulate the world. So, this one man, I will not mention his name, very famous man, his plan, he's a plan for every single human being. To be under this control, to be paid. Like he has this vision of the world whereby everything is technology and human beings are served by all these robots, and human beings will be receiving like rations, like some kind of payment, some kind of allowance all over the world. But for them to receive this, they'll have to be under rulership of one entity. That's his plan. The other one, annihilation, depopulation. It's like, let's throw these nukes and depopulate the world. And they all know about this. So do not be deceived. They all know about this. So that's something the Lord wants you guys to know. We are going home soon. Very, very, very soon. I can't believe I almost forgot to tell you that. I just remembered it. We are going home very soon. Very, very soon. Sooner than we think. It might even be tomorrow. It might be. God bless you guys.